Because one of the main challenges in Agile projects is to establish a shared vision between customers and the team who is going to build the product about how it should look like and function, Agile methods incorporate a lot of tools to help to establish this vision. Like, for example, creating Agile charters and elevator statements, Agile modeling, and the definition of done. Relevant information plays a part in determining whether a particular activity can be considered done. This concept of the definition of done is critical in Agile projects and is applied in a number of different ways. The continuous discussion of the definition of done limits the wrong evaluation, reduces the cost of rework for items that are accepted as done. The Agile Practice Guide defines the definition of done (DoD) as a team's checklist of all the criteria required to be met so that a deliverable can be considered ready for customers' use. The definition of done helps Agile teams to identify all valuable deliverables that need to be completed to mark the Agile projects as successful. The project is marked as done when all the listed acceptance criteria are met. Because each of the project sprints should create a valuable product, the definition of done should be defined at each level of the project, from the user stories up to the final product, passing through each sprint or release. Examples of the definition of done criteria are: for the user story, the definition of done for user stories may be determined by the following criteria. The user stories selected for the iteration are complete, understood by the team, and have detailed, testable acceptance criteria. All the elements of the user story are specified and reviewed, including the user story acceptance tests. Unit tests passed, the code reviewed, acceptance criteria met, the functional tests passed, the non-functional requirements met, and the product owner accepts the user story. The feature. The definition of done for features which may span multiple user stories or epics may include: all constituent user stories with acceptance criteria are defined and approved by the customer. The design is complete with no known technical debt. The code is complete with no known technical debt or unfinished refactoring. Unit tests have been performed and have achieved the defined level of coverage. Integration tests and system tests for the feature have been performed according to the defined coverage criteria. No major defects remain to be corrected, and feature documentation is complete, which may include release notes, user manuals, and online help functions. The iteration. The definition of done for the iteration may include the following. The definition of done of each single user story included in the sprint are met. All the to-dos are completed. All unit tests passed. The product backlog is updated. The product deployed on the test environment identical to the production platform. Tests on devices or browsers listed in documentation passed. Tests of backward compatibility passed. The performance tests passed. All bugs fixed. Sprint marked as ready for the production deployment by the product owner. At this point, the software is potentially releasable because the iteration has been successfully completed, but not all iterations result in a release. Release. The definition of done for a release, which may span multiple iterations, may include the following areas. The code is completed. Environments are prepared for release. All units and functional tests are green. All the acceptance criteria are met. The QA is done and all issues resolved. All the to-do annotations must have been resolved. OK from the team. The UX designer, the developer, the software architect, the project manager, product owner, quality assurance, and so on. Check that no unintegrated work in progress has been left in any development or staging environment. Check that the test-driven development and continuous integration is verified and working. And we will talk about the test-driven development and continuous integration in future sections.